Good morning. My name is Eric Walz, and I am honored that you have chosen to attend my poster presentation. I know we have lots of choices at this conference, and I'm honored that you selected me. I'm looking forward to spending some time with you. First, with my abstract. My study seeks to examine issues related to equity and STEM education. Specifically, I seek to examine the practices of one middle school. Its name is Presswood. Now, note, that's not its real name, and this is not a real picture of Presswood. Problem statement. In an effort to boost enrollment during periods of time when school choice options existed in its district, Presswood branded itself a STEM school. The problem in my study is that Presswood might not be delivering its STEM program with an eye towards equity. Students engaged in STEM learning might not be representative of the entire student body. My personal statement. As a teacher at Presswood, I have had the benefit of observing the development and implementation of the STEM program there over time. Significance. The results of this study should interest anyone in the school or the district in which it was conducted, particularly if those individuals are concerned about issues related to equity. My purpose statement. The purpose of this inquiry is to gauge the efficacy and equity with which Presswood's STEM program is currently being delivered to its students. I have a couple of research questions that I'd like to share with you. Question 1. Is the STEM program at Presswood Middle School, as it currently exists, being offered with equity to all students without regard for factors like race, language, socioeconomics, or other demographic considerations? And the second question is, in what ways can the results of this inquiry inform future practices at Presswood Middle School as it relates to STEM offerings? I did a literature review as a part of my study. It was very informative, gave me some good background information, a good foundation upon which to make my observations. 5 themes stood out from my literature review. Theme 1, the term STEM is not ubiquitous. STEM programs differ greatly across the country. Theme 2, the foundations of STEM education are inherently inequitable. Theme 3, systems create certain profiles of students that are drawn to STEM and others that are not. Theme 4, there is good news. STEM programs can benefit diverse populations. And Theme 5, no surprise here, teacher preparation programs are key in enabling teachers to deliver effective, equitable STEM content. All right, now let's talk for a moment about my methods. I seek to quantify STEM offerings at Presswood and the characteristics of students that participate in those offerings. I seek to obtain qualitative data about how the program is offered and delivered. All right. Presswood Middle School is located in the northern portion of a set of communities often identified as Colorado's Front Range. Presswood itself is in the southern portion of the city in which it resides. The city in question is often described as relatively homogeneous culturally, with pockets of diversity. The further one travels north in the city in question, the more diversity exists. There is a healthy and historic Spanish-speaking population in the city's northern portions. The city's center is dominated by a state university, another source of diversity. The southern portions of the city, however, are homogeneous to the extreme. Presswood exists in the southernmost extremes of the city. Now, for our time frame. I, as a researcher, became interested in this topic during the course of the 2019-2020 school year. The research itself took place during the 2020-2021 school year. Of note, both years were impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. The intervention. During the course of the investigation, I will accumulate quantitative and qualitative data about the STEM program at Preston Middle School, with the goal of addressing the extent to which the program is offered with equity. My procedures. quantify the STEM offerings within the school, quantify the total number of students that participated in them during the last complete school year of record, quantify the demographic characteristics of the students that participated in STEM opportunities, and I also seek to gather qualitative data from interviews and surveys of students and parents and guardians about the extent to which they have been made aware of STEM offerings. My conclusion. I conclude that there is evidence to suggest that STEM programs can be offered with equity. They are often implemented, however, in ways that are not equitable. I suspect that certain students of minority identities are underrepresented in STEM offerings at Presswood. I also suspect that certain students of minority identities exist in the program that might exceed their representation in the general population. I will likely discover that Spanish-speaking ELLs, for example, are underrepresented in terms of STEM programming, while students of South and East Asian descent, India and China specifically, are overrepresented. This is caused by some old notions and stereotypes we have about ethnicity, academic achievement, and access to technology. I would like to thank you for attending my poster presentation today. I appreciate your participation, and I honor you as a colleague.